I love learning new things and getting over glitches that I have to overcome and master. And this morning was one of those places. It's a wonderful place to be when you're learning new things all the time. My message for today was interesting for me even to learn from. And the way it began to unfold and unravel within me, I was speaking to my daughter in the car, usually a wonderful time when the space between us begins to open and the collaboration between me and her allows for other energies or other vibrations to permeate the space, and it brings a added bonus of new information and new knowledge and new sense of self. And we always find that when we go into these spaces that we feel uplifted and we feel magnetized and far more than who we possibly can be as individuals. So it is always an extremely heartwarming place. My chat with her, I was telling her that I was watching a series on ancient pirates, and I got to learn about Blackbeard the pirate from a long, long time ago, another century. And Blackbeard was not that person's name. Blackbeard actually was the image that was eventually given to a very ordinary human being that lived a life exactly like you and I would in their century. You know, from needing a place to live and food to eat and clothes and love and companionship, um, and all those that go with it. And what this person, this man became eventually through the exploits and taking risks and picking up on a new sense of self, eventually became what we in this century call a legend. And the legend of Blackbeard is very interesting. And why this came up and what is very interesting was these sort of ideas of ourself that create this image. And it's based upon our stories from our life, from those around us, their memories, how we see ourselves, our self-image. We create this legend of ourselves. This legend gains momentum. And because this legend gains momentum, it becomes crystallized as an idea of self. And once the people around us start to believe in that legend, as they all would have in the pirate seas around the Caribbean and those areas, once they start to believe in the legend and the exploits and the stories that are passed between people over and over and over, and eventually written in novels and written in books, and eventually jotted down on pieces of papyrus, those legends that then become fixed in writing carry into history as if they are the real person themselves. Now, Blackbeard was not the person that was born as, I don't even know his name right now, but let's call him Harry. He wasn't even born as that. He was born as Harry, a simple person, and legend picked him up and carried him forward. Now, if we take that idea and we bring it into normal everyday life, human beings do that. They are born a simple child, very open to the cosmos, very engaged with frequencies, sleeping a lot, growing their bodies, growing their brains, growing their organs, growing every part. And they do this by dreaming. They dream themselves into being. The people around them, through love and care and all the other identifications, project all sorts onto the kid. So they start to project onto every child who is absolutely innocent, faultless, blameless, and made perfectly as the original. They project the idea of a Blackbeard onto them. The idea of what the parents want from them, expect from them, the legends start to grow, the stories that are gathered about that person get written down in journals, or they snapshotted through cameras. And eventually a blackbeard is made of every single child, this ideal child that is remembered through history, through the course of their life. And because people like to hold on to fixed ideas, it makes them have a sense of security and safety. They are set on holding on to this blackbeard idea of every person. And every person's idea of themselves and self-image becomes so wrapped up in this legend that it's sometimes exceptionally difficult to break free and to leave the legend behind. That is the basic, fundamental little mystery around a scripture that's written in one of the holy books, and it's about, unless you have the mind of a child, you'll never see the kingdom of heaven. We have to release our blackbeards, our legends, the legends that we believe we are and think we are based upon the stories and the photographs. And we have to release all of that until we become completely empty, so that there's no more legend left. And all we're left with is just that basic person that was born right in the beginning, who has no story, who has no legend, who has nothing going forward into history as a legend. They can't be remembered. There's nothing about them to be told. When we can take ourselves to that place and release bit by bit the legends of ourselves, our self-image and who we think we are, we stand a chance to return to that very unique place of having the mind of a child that is completely clear, empty, and in direct union with their God, with the universal life force, and with Source. So for this week, go and have a look at the legend that's been created around you. What is your blackbeard? What does it look like? And you'll find that if you go into this quite deeply, you'll understand why the memories that exist and why the photographs that have been taken, what the stories have been told, are in existence and are held within your mind, because your memories, your photographs, your mental photographs all form a part of your own blackbeard, your own legend. And legends are very interesting, because if we take the example of Christ or Buddha, any of those, the legends that have carried for 1,000, 2,000, many thousands of years have become so phenomenal, fantastical, and idealistic that for most people, they struggle quite a lot to even imagine those great legends to be normal, everyday persons too, that have a hairy identity that was first established when they were children. We have carried those legends forward to become what they are, to become ideas that we feel with our own legends that we can never become. So have a look deeper. The legend is something very different, or the self-image, the legend is very different to the normal, everyday human being that struggles, that faces challenges, that overcomes issues, that has to deal with normal, everyday life in that life. And you'll find there's a deeper story there regarding any of the legends that you've ever known in your life. This is your task this week. This is Jaylee Balch. Enjoy, and I'll speak soon live, and obviously in the link below written, you can see the work that we are currently doing on the planet. Enjoy your week.